Welcome to the best damn sports podcast on the planet. I'm your host, Brandon Combs. We have a great show lined up for you guys. Week 8 was absolutely incredible. I just got done, unfortunately, watching my Bears lose in overtime, but they shouldn't have even been in overtime, so the fact that they came back and took that game to overtime was a feat in itself. However, it is what it is. Maybe they're not as good as I thought that they were at 5-0. Maybe I'm not as good as Benzie, says that they were. Maybe they are everything that Benzie and Reeves and all these guys have been telling me that they were. But I still think they're playing pretty well. Just got to get better play calling, man. The play calling has been absolutely atrocious. So let me bring in my posse. Hoffy, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Combs? How we doing?
Hey, man, not bad. Eating your popcorn. You better be eating your popcorn. We're gonna bring Jay in here too, so we can talk about that. How good Cam Newton looks and the New England Patriots.
What about you?
Oh, we'll talk about the Bears. What? They just took the Saints to overtime. Everybody's telling me the Bears are gonna get smashed. There's no reason the Bears are gonna lose by more than that 6-point spread. They're gonna get crushed today, and the Bears took them to overtime.
Yeah,
that's what
happened. You had a chance to be in first place and you cost it.
That's what happens when you lose. You have the excuses. Oh, they shouldn't have been to overtime anyways. Da 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 da.
Hey, how'd the Patriots do today?
They did.
I don't know. New England South doesn't play till tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, man. The Bears' play calling has definitely got to get better. It does. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The way that the play calling has been, like, I don't understand. You got 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and we're handing the ball off to Montgomery. We are the 32nd ranked rushing team in the league. And if they could, they'd probably rank them 33rd and put one team ahead of them twice. Like, that's how bad they are at running the ball. Why are we putting the ball in our running game's hands on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 in crucial situations? I don't understand it.
Today. And not just the Bears, but there was a lot of teams that did that, and I couldn't understand that. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty obvious to me.
I don't get it, man. I don't understand. And this guy is supposed to be Nagy's supposed to be a genius on the offense. Like, that's what they brought him in here for, was to run the offense. The defense is doing its damn job. We have no offense. None.
I've been saying that to you for weeks now, Combs. You've just been denying that fact that you guys...
No. I've said all year that their offense is the problem. I said they do just enough. They do just enough to score just enough points to help that defense win. And that's what they did again today. I mean, they scored just enough points. The Bears need to hold opponents to 20 points or less. That's the only way they're going to win games.
And you got some help from Benz and Reeves this week. The Vikings with the W.
Dude, the Vikings, man. Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, right.
The way they played today on defense, man, was absolutely insane. That team that showed up today against the Packers was the Minnesota Vikings I thought we were going to see all year. Dalvin Cook was running all over that Packers defense.
He was a big boy today.
They looked good today. They looked like what they were supposed to look like from out the jump. When you saw it on paper, you were like, oh, wow.
I had them winning the division.
Right. You're going to be like, this is a good Vikings team. And then they came out and they just freaking threw a bunch of donuts. And, today they looked like what they could actually be. So, I mean, it might be a little bit too late for the Vikings already. But, I mean, they look good today for sure.
Yeah, the Vikings, they looked really good. The Bears did not look really good. Michael Buckheiser says hi. Says just enough points to lose.
Right.
Lions will still win this division. You're still out of your ever-loving mind. They just lost again today. They got dominated by the Indianapolis Colts. They are not going to win the division.
They got
Sir
7
Lions.
straight home losses. How are they going to win their division?
They're not winning the division. He's out of his damn mind.
They just lost.
my co-host here for the man hour after dark is absolutely out of his mind. Super Bowl bound Colts. Just keep spitting the vomit that's coming out of your mouth, Michael Buckheister. The Colts are not going to the Super Bowl. The Lions are not winning the division.
The Dolphins are going all the way, baby.
Oh yeah. They look good. It's
The Dolphins looked all right today. And people are going to say, look, people are going to say they came in and they put Tua in, and it's Tua time, and they won. Tua was 12 for 25 with 93 yards today.
Hey! They got 3 straight wins with 10 plus points, though. They're on a roll.
Their defense is what's doing it for them right now for Miami.
Tua doesn't need to throw for more than 100 yards when you got that defense.
Right.
That's good because I don't think he's going to throw for 100 yards.
Right. They're a lot like the Bears. You know, they got
his first pass attempt today was a fumble.
Yep, and watching the Patriots game today, I'm not that sold on that Bills defense. I'm really not.
I'm not sold.
I mean,
on
I thought they were a lot better than they were, and I actually got to like see them, and not just like highlights and just crap like that. But I actually just got to see them today, and I'm not really sold on that defense like I thought I was.
Our team is trash, and they got our JV trash team this week. Right. Barely beat them.
Right.
Yeah, look.
Oh, my bad, but if Cam doesn't fumble that ball, man, I mean,
we're in overtime just like your Bears.
Right.
We probably don't choke like your Bears, though.
No, instead you choked before overtime like the Bears.
Hey, you win some, you lose some, but unfortunately for you, sir, you got 1 to our 6.
Bang, bang, bang.
Hey, but who's our 1 against again?
But don't worry, at the end of this year, you'll have 1 to our 7.
Yeah, hey, head to head though, we're up 1-0.
Oh, that's right. At the end
46 to 10. 7. That's all I remember. 46 to 10.
You don't remember it? You weren't even alive.
I was too. I was 5 years old.
You were sleeping.
5.
Your uncle was changing your diaper and putting you to bed at 7 o'clock.
He was sucking on his mother's
with some whiskey in the bottle.
Oh my God!
Right on the tee.
You're out of your damn minds. At any rate, now we're talking about surprises in this week. Right? We had 2 of the Dolphins winning. How the hell did the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Tennessee Titans? And not just beat them, but beat them convincingly.
Yeah.
I mean, they went up ahead early, and that takes away the Tennessee's game plan of just running controlling the clock and running the ball, and that's what the Bengals did was they controlled the clock, and then that takes away that aspect of being able to run and pass. And when you make Tannehill and that offense one-dimensional, even though he's still got his yards, running the ball, when you make him, when it's going to be a pass, and you can kind of sit back and not have to put 8 in the box, you got a chance to beat them.
I mean,
he says if Cam would be in blue and white, they would be winning the Super Bowl. Well, they are. He is in blue and white. The Patriots are blue and white.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Colts? Because the Titans are an 8-8 team. Go to bed, Buck. You're drunk.
Oh, go to bed, bro.
You're out of your mind. Look, the Titans are not an 8-8 team.
They're the second or third best team in the AFC.
Right now, yeah. Over the long run, I mean,
they're not dropping. And then they're definitely
they'll get the
not
4th seed, but they'll get bounced in the first round.
That's what I'm saying. They're not dropping below 4, and I think when it starts getting to be that time, that the offense and the Russian might be pretty deadly because when it starts getting colder, you know how guys are. They just don't want to tackle.
Yeah, I mean, right now by the standings, the Titans are 4th place behind the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
So,
but if we go by Brandon Holmes's,
so let's go by this then. So, the Tennessee Titans, are they better than the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No.
Are they better than the Chiefs?
Last week.
No.
Are they better than the Chiefs?
No, we saw that last year.
All right, so that's 2. Are they better than the Bills?
Yes.
We saw that already. Yes.
Okay. Are they better than the Ravens?
No. I still take the Ravens, even though we don't trust, even though Jackson hasn't showed up yet.
Are they better than the Colts?
I'll take Tennessee. I think they are.
You think they're better than the Ravens?
Yes.
All around, no.
I think Tennessee's better than the Ravens.
I don't know about that.
Jackson shows up, but that team is just.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. You haven't seen much. He doesn't need to show up,
and they can still beat him.
Do you have him better than the Colts?
I'm on the line with that one, honestly.
Okay, so then
beat the Colts.
So then we'd have them like somewhere in the 4th or 5th seed. Then,
right?
Is where you want to put them. Okay. Right. I like Tennessee. I like what they're doing. I like what they have with King Henry. I'm looking at their schedule. They've got the Bears next week. They're going to beat the Bears. I said that last week they would beat the Bears. Then they got the Colts. That's going to be a tough one. Then they got the Ravens, then the Colts again. So the next 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, I mean, they could really be, if they go 1-3 in those 4 games, they're in trouble.
Right.
I mean, if the Colts sweep them and the Ravens beat them, they're in trouble. And then they got it doesn't get easier. I mean, they got the Browns. The Browns have been looking pretty good.
They're not bad. They're not bad.
They got the Jags, the Lions, Packers, and Texans to end the season. So they could win 3 out of those last 4. They'll probably lose to the Packers, but I don't know
about Cleveland without Beckham though. You know, we didn't see any. Not going to call today's game any sort of anything with that weather. There was hell. Nobody was throwing the ball in that weather.
Jarvis Landry's still an animal though. You see a couple of those catches he made today.
Yeah, Jarvis Landry's a beast.
Oh, he is, and especially when Beckham's not in there, like, because I think that Baker Mayfield favors Beckham a little bit more, but since he has to throw to Landry now, but man, he made a couple great catches today, man.
Jared Parrott says when it gets colder, Henry becomes a scary motherfucker.
It's true. It's true.
And I am Professor Leonard, just dropping by to say hi to Combs and Hoffy and that other human flesh. Be well, guys. So speaking of Professor Leonard, Professor Leonard was 2-1 in our picks this week. He had the Vikings plus 6.5. Vikings won that game outright, as we talked about earlier. He also had the what were the other games that he picked? I was just looking at this before we came on the air too, and I can't remember exactly what the picks were. So he had the Colts. He had the Colts -3. He had the Rams -3.5, and he had the Vikings plus 6.5. So he took 2 out of 3 today. So
you're in
for
trouble,
you, Professor.
What's that?
I've lost 2 out of 3 the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fired.
So he's up by 2 now.
Ooh.
I mean, we'll see.
For the picks from now on.
OBJ is overrated. OBJ is out for the season.
Yeah, and he's probably never going to play another down with Cleveland again, but still.
OBJ made the Browns bad. I mean, they were 5-2 before when he went down. So
right.
I can't say he made them bad. Look, when you have, I do like, so it was the same thing that happened with the Browns with OBJ is what I thought was going to happen with the Texans when they traded DeAndre Hopkins. I thought instead of having to force the ball to a guy who commands the ball and commands a lot of attention, you were going to open that offense up for other guys to be able to spread it out more. And that's what the Browns showed today, that they're able to do without OBJ, that they're able to do without OBJ. So I can't say he made him bad, but I would not be surprised if they are better without him. Would you? I mean, would that surprise either one of you guys?
No, not
I mean,
really,
I understand taking him away. Go ahead, Jay.
I mean, no, not really, because the fact that, I mean, you got to think too. On any other team, Jarvis Landry is the number 1 receiver. So kind of when you have that, like, I don't know how you put it, but like that.
I'll take that matchup any day, though, when he's
right.
your number 2.
Right. When Jarvis Landry's your number 2, but, when you have that, as, oh, my God, I can't even think about it. But anyways, But just having those two as your number ones, essentially, like Baker Mayfield's like, who am I supposed to throw to? Who am I supposed to throw to? You got two number ones, But now that, Beckham's off the field and you got Landry and you still got a couple of good other Browns receivers that are down there, now, Landry's definitely forced to be your number one, So,
Right. So Mike Buckeye just said Landry is a number 2 at best on other teams. I don't know about it. Landry can be a number 1 wide receiver.
You've seen him on the Dolphins before he came to the Browns, and he was the number 1 on the Dolphins. So
we see him at the Pro Bowl every year when it's individual, actual skill sets and just know.
Well. I mean, Mitch Trubisky started the Pro Bowl 2 years ago.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's calm down about some of that stuff.
I'm talking the overall Pro Bowl activities when they're doing just the overall running, the catching, all that they do individually. He dominates all of them. So
I got you.
I'm not going to say he's number 2 on anyone's team.
You never seen Jarvis Landry fuck someone up on the fucking dodgeball court?
No. Oh man! All right, so we talked about a little bit about the Pats and Buffalo. Is Buffalo a legit contender in the AFC?
I don't think so. After today, literally after today, I was looking at that defense and I was just like, they're not as good as they're advertised. I thought that front seven was a lot better, and Damian Harris ran all over the Buffalo front seven today. Mm-hmm. And that's when I looked at them and I was like, they are not that good. And their secondary, you had Bird.
Yeah, their defense is unbelievable on paper, and they haven't showed up at all this year.
Right.
And, Bird, we saw today.
What's the other receiver they got there, Hoffy? It's Bird and
Are you talking cornerbacks, White?
No,
are you talking cornerbacks or our receivers?
Our receivers, yeah, our receivers. It's Bird and who's the other kid there?
Because we had Harry out today, we had Edelman out, so it was
yeah. So it was just Bird and who's the other kid there?
Can't think of his Myers.
Can't think of anybody today.
Myers.
Yeah, Bird and Myers. Yeah, Myers. So Bird and Myers were tearing the Buffalo secondary up today, and I was just like, wow, this defense is not as good as it is. And literally, Damian Harris.
So it's the front seven for Buffalo that everybody said was good, and that front seven is also what caused Cam Newton to lose the game for the Patriots as well with that fumble. So that's where Buffalo's defense is really legit, is that front seven.
But and the pressure they get. They got White, and then they got they got Norman, he's a shell of what he used to be, but he's still a solid number 2. He's not a number 1 anymore. He's a solid number 2. And they do have some good safeties over the top too. So no, I think that whole entire defense is underperforming.
They got that Tremont Edwards dude that's a beast up there, bro. Mm-hmm. He's a beast.
Bills have an easy slate of games and are good. They're just not ready.
Well, they need to get ready. It's
exactly.
Week 8.
Josh Allen is not ready.
It's week 8.
Facts. Front seven is a top 5. I agree. I mean that's the Bills' bread and butter on defense is their front seven and the way they create pressure. It's the same thing. It's kind of like the Bears. The Bears' front seven is scary. The Packers' front seven is scary. The Bills' front seven is scary. And when the Patriots are healthy and have all of their pieces there, their front seven's actually pretty scary too.
Oh yeah, sure.
But when you get out of the front seven is where Buffalo starts to downgrade. So you take some of those defense like the Patriots, the Bears, the Packers, their secondaries are also very good. Buffalo doesn't have that luxury. You get into that secondary and you beat that secondary. That's how you beat Buffalo. So
Allen's the better-looking twin brother to your boy Mitch Trubisky. That's about how good that team is. There you go.
See, I'm not a big believer in Allen either. I haven't been a big believer of him since he came in the league. I do feel like the kid. I feel like he needs to stop running so much and looking to run out of the pocket and just become a pocket passer because he's got a good arm and he's pretty accurate with his arm. But
he can run down in the red zone, but
it's almost like he feels like he watches Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, and he's trying to do what they're doing, and that's just not. It's almost like it's not his game. But look, I'm not a big believer in Allen at all.
You know what he kind of reminds me of is a little bit better of a Blake Bortles. Like, honestly, you know, how, like Blake Bortles, like if he sat there in the pocket.
I don't want to compare him to Bortles. But I think if anything, he's a step up from Jared Goff as opposed to Bortles. Because Goff isn't that great, but I'd
almost take Allen over Goff. We saw.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Allen's a step above. Goff as a starting quarterback.
Way. My fault.
No.
Yeah. We all saw the Rams that we were expecting to see, all year show up today.
Allen is greater than Foles. Well, no shit.
I would take Allen over Foles. That's not even.
Yeah, I would take Allen over Foles too.
He definitely needs to walk the liquor cabinet at this point.
I would take Buckheister over fucking Foles right now. It's actually, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the decisions that Foles is making when he has the ball is mind-boggling. Like running around in a circle earlier against the Saints instead of throwing the fucking ball away. Like that stuff, I'm like that drives me nuts. Get rid of the ball. That was my whole complaint about Trubisky, is that he tried to make something happen and wouldn't get rid of the ball. And I felt like Foles would be smarter with that. The bigger, and that's 25% of that offense's problem. The 75% of that offense's problem is Matt Nagy and the play calling. He's got to give up the play calling.
So I got a question for you, Combs.
Yeah.
At this point, do you go back to Trubisky?
No, you don't go back to Trubisky unless there's an injury to Foles. Same reason why you when you go like right now with Tua and Fitzpatrick, you can't go back to Fitzpatrick unless Tua gets injured. And even if Tua does get injured, you almost might want to go to your third string quarterback as opposed to go back to Fitzpatrick because of the psyche and what it does. Yeah. But I mean, if there's no injury, you're sticking it out with Tua. You can't go back.
If the Dolphins in a playoff hunt and Tua gets hurt, I go with If
I'm the Bears, I'm making a trade before Tuesday. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting a quarterback before Tuesday in the trade market. But I just don't know that the Bears
try to get Fitzpatrick. I wouldn't.
Well, I said the same thing. I said Fitzpatrick. Go if you're the Bears right now. The same deal that you gave the Raiders for Khalil Mack, you give the Patriots for Gilmore and Cam Newton. You give them 3 first-round picks and a third, and go get yourself Cam Newton and Gilmore.
I'd take that all day.
I would take that.
I know, but you're going to have to overpay to get those guys, and that's what I would do. I mean, because I think Cam Newton makes this team better. I mean, Stephon Gilmore in this second, forget it. I mean, you're going to score maybe 15 points a game on this team if you put Stephon Gilmore on this Bears defense.
Yeah, look what
but
he's doing
then you add Cam Newton and you give Cam Newton weapons. It still doesn't matter because Nagy still has to make better play calls. But you do need a quarterback.
Even with the play call that you're getting now, Cam Newton's that much better than Foles that he'll make something else happen.
Right.
And he can make something happen with his feet too, which Foles can't really do. You know what I'm saying?
And there lies the problem with the Bears is that they were so married to Trubisky that they didn't want to bring a viable starting quarterback in, so they brought in Foles to be a good backup. And now they're having to rely on Foles as a starter. So now they're almost too married to Nick Foles with the contract that they gave him that I don't think that there's any way they go make a trade for a quarterback. But that's really what they need at the deadline. Other than offensive line help, obviously.
I don't understand
2 more linemen go down today.
I don't understand how the Saints ended up with Winston and how Mariota ended up in Las Vegas, where neither one of them is going to play. When you had Chicago, you had New England, you had all these teams. Heck, even the Jets could have probably used just somebody to kind of light a fire.
The Bears went and got Foles, and when they signed Foles, Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Mariota, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers were all still on the table. So right then, when they made that move, I said to myself, well, Trubisky's still starting the season then. Trubisky's still your starting quarterback. Because Foles isn't coming in here to take the job.
Right.
Just riding the full Super Bowl wave.
Right, but it was just the mentality, and that's the mentality that the GM has, and he's, the worst GM in the National Football League. He's been since he came here.
I hate when other teams try and follow other teams' success, trying to follow the Eagles' success with the Foles, trying to follow, so many people follow the Patriot way when they leave the Patriots and not, Brian Flores seems to be the only one that might be somewhat of a, viable, case for a solid choice. But other than that, not many have, panned out. Look at Matt Patricia and his Lions. I know it's going to upset part-time nerd boss, but,
Yeah, look, part-time nerd Allen, he loves his Lions, talks about his Lions all the time. They got their asses kicked again today.
The Lions got trashed on today.
Yeah, and
he's the better-looking twin to Matty Ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at least Matty Ice got him to the dance once.
Right.
And to be honest with you, he should have won it once, but that defense gave it up.
No, they should.
Man hour, what's going on? Mike LeBlanc chiming in on the man hour.
They should have ran the damn ball instead of continue to pass it and just stop and freaking.
No, they should have continued to throw the ball. Bet a bunch of fools, and we'll take it any way we get it.
I tell her to smack you around and do all funny kind of stuff too.
So the Eagles and the Cowboys playing right now. DiNucci in as a starter for the Cowboys. They're handing the ball off a lot to Zeke in this first drive.
You're gonna have
but
to.
They gave DiNucci a play just now, and now it's 2nd and 22. This team
They're gonna have to give the ball to freaking to Zeke 40 times.
Yeah. I think the key to beating the Cowboys now, it's simple. You let Zeke eat and make DiNucci make plays. Zeke's going to get his job. It's the same success that you need to have with the Tennessee Titans. You let King Henry eat. You let King Henry gain his yardage, and you just you sit there and you let him do what he's going to do, and you make Tannehill beat you. And that's exactly what happened today. Is that they sat back and they made Tannehill try to beat him. And what did Tannehill do? I think Tannehill was like 14 for 36 or something today. He was awful. And
it's weird because Tannehill does have his games though where you're like, what, 300 and something yards, 4 touchdowns, it's like every 3 or 4 games that he just he comes out and he just puts up some big numbers, and you're like, and then everybody's like, oh yeah, Tannehill MVP. I was even on the train for a second, but. Oh, yeah, that's what I just said.
I'm starting to question right now whether or not it's Mike LeBlanc or Mike Buckheister who's on it, because I don't think LeBlanc would ever say Buckheister's right.
No.
Says Zeke needs 35-plus touches today. Quarterback does have a strong arm. Throw it as far as you can and let CD go get it. I get that might work against the Eagles. You might beat the Eagles with that game plan, but you ain't beating anybody that's halfway decent with that game plan.
No.
Yeah, no, run, and if it's 3rd and long, then you can do that, and that can be your punt, basically, but that's about it.
Let's see here. So Tua, 12 for 22.
Oh, he's going to have to do way more.
Do we chalk this up to him playing a very good Rams defense and wait to see what comes out of him next week?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Honestly, the Rams offense looked kind of soft today too. They look like I don't know. They look like they played down to the competition today. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, Goff had 4 turnovers, but I think, like you said, you got to give it another week just because it is the Rams. But he had a turnover in his very first pass play. They were last I saw on towards the end of the 4th quarter. He was 1 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. So you got to do better than that. But yeah, I think you got to ride out Tua. But 12 of 25 or whatever he was for under 100 yards is. I'm high on this Tua kid, but I think we got to pump the brakes on Miami at this point.
So, are the Dolphins a legitimate threat to win the AFC East?
Only because of I don't trust Allen. So yeah, I trust Brian Flores and the Dolphins more than I trust Allen.
So you think that the Dolphins have a legitimate chance to beat the Bills for the AFC East?
I don't think so.
I think when you look at their schedule, I think the Dolphins are going to have a little bit of a softer schedule than the Bills. But
all right, so let's look at the schedule then. So
they got two good ones.
The Dolphins have the Cardinals have the Cardinals next week for the Dolphins. That's probably a law. I mean, the Cardinals are really good.
Yeah,
they do have a schedule,
and they're coming off a bye. Then you got the Chargers. Then you go to Denver. And that's always a tough game for a team from Miami when you're going up and playing in cold weather in Denver. Yeah. And then you've got the Jets, which is a winnable game. The Bengals are better than people think that they are. I mean, they could absolutely come out and beat you. Then you got the Chiefs. Then you got the Patriots, Raiders, and Bills to close out the season.
I don't think they have a chance.
Yeah, but the Bills also
maybe have 4 more wins. So 4 more wins will put them at 9-7 or 8. I'm sorry, 8-8.
Here's the thing about the Bills, though. I mean, I know I was shitting on the Bills' defense earlier, but the Bills' defense is still pretty good. So you got the Bills' defense, who's pretty good, and then you got Josh Allen, who can do just enough to win ball games for you. And I don't think Tua's doing that with that schedule coming up.
Well, let's look at the Bills' schedule then. So the Bills have the Seahawks next week.
Right.
Then they get the Cardinals. Then they get the Chargers. Then they get the 49ers. Then they get the Steelers. And then they close it out against the Broncos, Pats, and Dolphins.
They might not win till Denver. They might even lose to New England. And then Miami sets up a showdown in the last week.
Yeah,
it's not impossible that Week 17 is for the division.
But the Dolphins have 3 wins in a row by more than 10+ points. So I mean,
it's true. And they just beat a very good Rams team.
They got that kid on special teams, punt returns, kick returns. You set up Tua, from your own 40 or better. And I like, or any quarterback for that matter. I like your chances, and that defense. And Brian Flores is, doing a well job on the coaching staff there.
Can you chalk the Rams game up to playing on Monday night, then having to travel all the way to the East Coast to play a noon game?
See, that's another thing that I was thinking about today. I don't really believe in that stuff all that much.
Oh man, Miami's such a tough place to play because not only do you have to travel coast to coast, but the way that stadium's set up is that the offensive team's bench is in the sun the entire day.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
And I mean, I hear players and coaches talk about it all the time that Miami is a sneaky hard place to go and win in.
Yeah, but LA is not much, but the weather is not much different.
But it's the travel though. It's the travel is what I'm talking. Andrew just played Monday. It's a short week. You have to travel all the way to the East Coast, and you have to play. It's not like you got to play a 3:00 game, which would have been noon where you're from. You're playing at noon, which is 9:00 West Coast time. It's just tough. So I'm not making excuses for the Rams, but I'm just saying, can we chalk that up to maybe why they had the success even with Tua only throwing for 93 yards?
No, I think we saw the golf we're going to see. We all thought we were going to see throughout the whole season. So I think we're going to see more of that. But no, I mean, obviously that probably has a little bit to do with it. But you're a professional athlete. They've been there. They've done that. They've been in the Super Bowl. So no,
they say West Coast teams to East Coast at 1 p.m. kickoffs are below 40% wins in the history of the NFL.
I mean, San Francisco also lost to the Dolphins, but.
Jay, hey, I know they sucked 5 minutes ago, but damn, they have a great defense.
What I said was I wasn't as high on them as I had been.
Oh, you're high, all right.
But hey, take it how you want to take it.
KC is below 500 versus the Dolphins. Really? I didn't know that. Yeah. I don't think that the Dolphins are going to compete, because I think Buffalo will pull out 1 or 2 wins that we don't expect them to pull out because of that defense, because of that front seven. And some of these teams are going to have a harder time running their game plans. You look at teams that they've got coming up, like the Chargers always have problems with Herbert's a very good quarterback, but they have problems protecting him. And with that front seven, that's going to create problems. The Broncos as well.
On Herbert. He's got 3 touchdowns in 4+ games now.
Right. And not to mention...
He's going to be a star.
Right. And not to mention, look, New England, and I don't want to crap on New England. I mean, I like crapping on New England, but that's besides the point. They're going to beat New England. New England's just not that good.
New England, not Cleveland and Beckham.
Yeah, but...
taking a dump on our chest. Come on, how dare you? Take us while we're down.
They could absolutely... I could see that being the Steelers' first losses to Buffalo.
1 year.
Because it's in Buffalo. It's in Buffalo on a Sunday night. So I could absolutely see that happening.
1 year and all these guys, man, jumping off the woodwork.
Oh my God. I don't even want to hear it. You guys were bad for your entire freaking... The Chargers are scary. I like the Chargers.
I do too.
And I like Justin Herbert. I really do, but I wouldn't call them scary just yet. They are still 1-4 since Justin Herbert became a quarterback. So, and they were off today, right?
Well, we talked about the talent. Yeah, we talked about the talent. No, we talked about the talent he went against, but no, didn't he throw? Yeah, he was off today, I think, actually.
At times, they
were off today.
Yeah, that's right.
They've got the Raiders coming up next. The Chargers do.
They'll beat them.
Yeah, they will.
The Raiders just had a nice win this week. They're going to be high on this win, and they're going to lose next coming week.
Chad is going to come right in and take them out.
All right. So the Chargers. He says the Chargers are scary. Let's look at the Chargers schedule then. Chargers have the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Bills. Look, they'll beat the Raiders, I think. I think that they're good enough to beat the Raiders. They're good enough to beat the Dolphins. They'll definitely beat the Jets. The Bills, that's a tough one. They'll probably beat the Patriots because it's in LA. Then they get the Falcons, the Raiders again, the Broncos, and the Chiefs. So, look, I could see the Chargers rattling off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more wins. I mean, that puts them at 8-8. It doesn't really make them scary.
Nope, that doesn't even get them into the playoffs in that division.
Yeah, the AFC West, man, that AFC West is good, and people aren't even talking about it. But that AFC West is
it's
good.
Really good. It is
both
really
West,
good.
NFC and AFC, they're both.
So is that AFC North too. That's a pretty good division as well.
Yeah, that NFC West is really good. The Niners are took a step back, like I thought that they would. I had the Niners finishing last in this division. I had Kittle
and Garoppolo left today with injuries too, so you got to see how.
Yeah. Garoppolo's out like usual.
Yeah, that guy can't stay healthy. But the Seahawks look good again. I mean, they're 6-1. The Cardinals are 5-2. The Rams are 5-3. Man, oh man,
the Bears could be in second place right now, Combs.
That's a tough division right there.
The Bears could be in, but you know what? They're not.
It could be, but
I didn't have them winning this division before the season started. I didn't. I also didn't have them starting 5-0. I had them starting out 0-2 before Nick Foles came in, and I saw it going different. But I really thought that Nagy would be doing more for this play. Nagy right now is the reason that they're losing. It's not Trubisky.
Is it Nagy or is it Foles, or is it because you can't? Or is it because
it's Nagy because he's not putting Foles in position to win? He's still calling the same game plan that he has for Trubisky with Nick Foles, and they're two totally different style quarterbacks.
Oh yeah,
Trubisky's a scrambler. Nick Foles is not.
Gotcha.
And you've got Nick Foles rolling out so much, and then you're handing the ball off on third. Like it's bad.
If he's such a genius, I mean, he needs to change the play style to Foles style, and
If the Broncos stay healthy, the AFC West will have all of its teams with 8 wins or better.
I mean,
yeah, and
I don't think the Broncos are going to get there, but
if the Patriots stayed healthy, they'd be freaking 14-2 right now.
And the Broncos are 3-4 right now, and the Chargers are 2-5. So the Chargers need to win 6 more. Denver needs to win 5 more. Denver's got the Falcons, so they'll probably win that one. They got the Raiders, they'll lose that one. They got the Dolphins, they'll probably lose that one. They got the Saints, they'll lose that one. They got the Chiefs, they'll lose that one.
Yeah.
They've got the Panthers, that's an iffy game. That's a winnable game. They got the Bills will win that one. They got the Chargers and the Raiders to close it out. Look, I don't see them with more than 2 or 3 more wins.
Seriously.
That's it for the Broncos. I don't think all teams in the West will have 8 wins.
But if the Patriots didn't have those 9 people set out for COVID, and they were all healthy, and they had 14 more receivers and 34 more running backs
instead of 2.
Yeah, so
we'd still.
I remember that talk, Buck or LeBlanc. Remember that talk we had on After Hours? Sometimes a coach is a great OC, but doesn't make a good head coach. Nagy seems to be a good OC and not a good head coach. I agree.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I agree, but that's the thing, though. If you are the offensive coordinator, which is what he's doing, calling the plays, you're still calling the same plays as the offensive coordinator. Like, the problem isn't because you're trying to be a head coach and you're failing as a head coach, but you're doing well. You're failing as an offensive coordinator right now by calling the play calling is atrocious. I mean, if I can sit there at my screen and sit there and watch the TV and say, this is what we're about to run. This is what we're about to do. What do you think the other team's defensive coordinator is doing, who's 100 million times a better football mind than I'll ever be? If I can see it coming, what do you think they see coming?
I don't know, Combs. I think you could be a defensive coordinator.
I think I would be a hell of a general manager, not a defensive.
Maybe for the Bears.
I mean, look, I could. I guess maybe I could be a coordinator. I mean, I do pretty well when I play Madden.
For the Lions.
I mean, I think I'm like 72-3 on Madden. So I mean, maybe I do make good play calls.
Send in an email. Hey, what's up? I think you need some help. Speaking of help, do you think Jan Blachowicz is going to need some help? Because from what I hear, Israel Adesanya is going to move up to that light heavyweight title.
Let's talk some UFC then. Let's talk some UFC.
Yaki just chop him right there in the neck.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I like Blachowicz, man. I really do.
He's up in like a round and a half. He doesn't stand it. I would rather see Thiago Santos go against him because I think Thiago Santos will knock him into another dimension.
Spin kick the shit out of him.
Did you see what Dana White said about Silva?
Dude, you should have said it 10 years ago when he was 35 and on his way out the door, not 45.
Right.
Good Lord.
I mean, and Silva didn't put it out there that he was done. Silva put it out there he was done with the UFC, but he said he hasn't decided yet.
His family better be like, yo, you're the GOAT 10 years ago, but
you need to
at a certain, I mean, I don't want to get knocked out now at 30 years old. Why do I want to risk that at 46 when I'm the GOAT? Right. I've got money. Like, what the hell is he thinking?
2,200 straight days as a champion.
It's like, bro, you already got a cauliflower here. Do you need to freaking really get your tongue hanging out for the rest of your life?
You spend 8.5 years as a champion, and you're still trying to fight at 46, man. It's almost like... It's like watching the Rocky movies all over again. Every time you see Silva's fighting again, you're like, man, they're doing another one. It's exactly what it is. It's...
Yeah, he definitely.
I love watching people get.
He didn't look horrible though, in that he still went 4 rounds with Uriah Hall.
Yeah, he's just got a 46-year-old chin.
Right.
A 46-year-old chin that's already been broken 10 times in the last 6+ years. So
yeah, shouldn't throw stones. If
and you're right, but Uriah Hall hasn't. Man, Uriah Hall in his prime versus Silva in his prime, it would have been no contest. I mean, it would have been a one-round fight. Silva would have finished him. But Uriah Hall has won, 3 out of his last 4 and 4 out of his last 5 or something like that. So he's coming up, but he's just not, like, I don't know. It was a bad...
He needs to throw him. Look at him.
Well, that's what Silva said. Silva said, man, this is how he looked versus Uriah Hall. Is probably the most gun-shy fighter in the division. Imagine what he's going to do when he goes up against some of these savages who want to kill you while they're in the ring. Like,
yeah, when he fought Adesanya, I think Adesanya could have knocked him out in 1 round, but he sat there and, did his little silly back and forth karate moves and kicked him in the leg and pointed him, out of respect, I feel. But
Sat there and
he could have dusted him in 1 round and probably put him in a casket with some nails in it for him.
I think Silva was done after the leg injury. I think as soon as he had that leg injury, he should have just stopped. But he tried coming back, and it's a good story. It's the same thing with GSP. Like, I don't want to see GSP come back either. He's talking about coming back and possibly
for Khabib. I really think that's what they're. I don't want to see that happen.
You think Khabib's not coming back, is he?
Because only for GSP, because that's what his father wanted, and I think his mother would say, "All right, go do this for your father, like father wanted." But yeah, father's plan was 30-0, and 30-0 was against GSP, and GSP says he wants to go against him and have that test. And I think Khabib would choke him out real quick. I don't think that.
I think so too. Like, what does he have to prove against what? I mean, how old's GSP now? He's got to be close to 40.
39.
Yeah.
39.
I thought he was older.
What does that prove?
35. But yeah.
But what does that prove if you're Khabib? Like, what do you have to say? Oh, so what? So if you come out and you beat a GSP who's come out of retirement after how many years now? He's been gone for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So you beat a guy who's 39 years old. Yeah, so if you beat a guy who's coming out of retirement at almost 40 years old, great. You've got nothing to gain by coming back to fight GSP. Nothing to gain. You've only got everything to lose. Because if you lose that fight somehow, if you lose that fight to GSP, people are going to start talking.
Right.
And there goes all the talk about how great you were because you wanted to come back and try this one last fight for whatever reason, whatever your reasoning is fine. But if you, for some reason, GSP comes out, it's got a great game plan, and freaking gets you into the 2nd or 3rd round and finds a way to finish you. I mean, GSP is still one of the most cerebral fighters I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's so good. But I mean, Khabib definitely has nothing to lose.
But he's a thinker, though. GSP's a thinker.
Yeah,
GSP will go in there with a better game plan. A lot of his fights, some of his fights, he wasn't the better fighter, but he was just a smarter fighter.
Right.
Khabib won't allow him to think, though. Khabib will be in his face real quick. Yeah. That Gaethje, the pressure he put on Gaethje was relentless.
I agree. I think I would have liked to have seen it if they were both in their prime. I don't want to see it now, though. You don't have anything to win if you're Khabib by taking that fight.
You don't. And then that's all that's going to happen is you're going to have to fight him again. And then if you lose to him twice, oh my God.
Yeah.
Imagine what the Khabib's legacy would be after that.
Yeah, oh man. I can just imagine the talk now about how he's all these people are talking about how he could be the GOAT over John Jones and all this other stuff, which is a joke in itself. Because John Jones is by far the greatest of all time. I think it's Jones and Silva are the top of their class, and then it's everybody else.
Yeah, look at the
if you ask me.
Jones was destroying. Well, fucking rocked on coke.
Right.
Yeah. He was drugged out of his mind, and he was still destroying the competition.
Doing weigh-ins Friday morning. Drugged up Friday night, showing up to the fight Saturday night, after the guy, and then showing up to the press conference. Already 2 cheeks to win.
He probably did 2 lines. He probably did 2 lines before he walked down the ring.
Yeah, probably. It would not surprise me. That's the sad part about John Jones, man, is that he could have been so much more than what he is, but he just couldn't stay off the frickin' drugs.
Yeah, but look what he did.
Couldn't stay out of trouble.
He was on him.
Well, right, but I'm saying, but I mean, even outside of the ring, like, imagine if he never like had the problems, never had to deal with all the legal troubles and all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, the
endorsements and the money that guy could have if he was, if he had fought out, throughout the whole career and not had to get suspensions. I mean, look at Conor McGregor. He messes up and he's still king of the world, and yet. This guy's
the thing with Conor McGregor is Conor McGregor's a different animal. Conor McGregor doesn't really mess up. Conor McGregor's just that mouthpiece that everybody loves to hate.
Yeah, but you can punch his old men unconscious in a bar.
Well, yeah, but I mean when you're Irish and you're in Ireland and you're in a bar, that's what happens. You fight people in a bar.
You don't take my shot of whiskey.
I don't know about that. I don't know that we're throwing dollies through bust windows and punching old men.
Well, that was that freaking. I mean, that attack on Habib. I mean, that was personal.
That was crazy.
Them two hate each other, man.
Them two
freaking hate each other. And he went at him because of something that happened. It wasn't even that it happened to him. It was because of his sparring partner, right? Khabib hurt his sparring partner.
He slapped him across the face and in the hotel. Lobov. He walked up to him and kind of gave him a slap across the face, and so Conor was called, and him and his team showed up, and they
won at him. But see, that's fine. To me, if I'm the UFC, I eat that up. Look, you've got guys like this who they go in the ring and they want to hurt each other. Like, what do you want these guys to do? Like, that's what these guys are. That's what their mentality is. I want that. If I'm UFC, man, I'm promoting that all over the place. I'm doing exactly what they did when they were showing that fight. When they had their first fight, that was all they kept showing was when he attacked the bus. And that was a perfect way to play it.
But I don't know that it's a good idea to be doing it.
It's very WWE, but that's what Conor McGregor is all about. Conor McGregor is about, let's bring all the drama we can, and let's get all the money we can, and let's make our money. I really don't think that Conor hates Khabib. I know Khabib hates Conor because Conor doesn't know how to stop running his mouth, but Conor will run his mouth just to make more money.
Yeah, we saw the post after he retired. He was like, "I'll carry on your legacy," and so no. And same with when his father passed. So no, like you said, I think it's. Like you said, it's all business with Conor, and he said that during the fight while he was getting his face smashed in by Khabib. It was just business,
right?
Khabib, it's not business.
It was all staged, and and then it just went a little bit too far,
I'm not sure it was staged. I mean, he was really pissed. I just think that he just, I mean. I don't know. That's just to me. That's what Conor McGregor, and that's what I love about. I'm a big Conor McGregor guy. I love Conor McGregor.
Absolutely. I mean,
I think he barked up the wrong tree with Khabib. I mean, Khabib's twice the fighter that McGregor is. Khabib's a beast.
I don't know about twice, but I'd say
Khabib.
Conor's the only one that's taken around from him, but I mean,
Khabib's a better wrestler. Khabib's a better striker. Khabib's a better submission.
All around, absolutely, but I don't say like a 2 times better. I'd say definitely way, a good amount better, but not twice the fighter, but definitely 9 times out of 10, or I don't even give Conor 1 out of 10, but I say he competes and he wins 1 out of the 4 rounds, but he eventually gets choked out in every single fight.
Yeah, but that's what McGregor doesn't care whether he wins or loses. McGregor cares about the purse. What's the payday?
Yeah. As Khabib says, he wants to fight your chicken.
That's why he's going up against guys like freaking. He starts going up against the boxers, man, because it's the money. It's the money grab.
Floyd again for another 100 million sounds.
I heard he was gonna fight. I heard he was fighting Pacquiao.
I think Pacquiao would
look for $100 million. I'll go get knocked out by Pacquiao. I'll go get knocked out by Mayweather. For $100 million? Shit.
That'll be a better.
At this point,
better fight. That'll be a better fight between them. Anyways, though, because Mayweather just plays a lot of defense and stuff. Pacquiao will actually attack McGregor. So that'll be a better fight.
Conor's a counter striker, just as Mayweather is. So they don't make a good.
Hell no. I would absolutely. But look, man, for $100 million, I would go fight anybody who wanted to go fight for $100 million and take my chances. Oh, yeah. Sure, I'll get knocked out. Oh, yeah. And dude, I won't even fucking train. I'll go in there like, right. I'll let Jay's sister be my trainer. That's where I would go.
How about Gervonta Davis? Did you see that fight last night? Did you go with him? That uppercut. There was a boxing match last night after the UFC. Dude. That Gervonta Davis uppercut.
Yeah.
Folded him. You want to take that one?
I don't want to take that one. I don't want to fight that guy who hit that spinning back kick for the finisher either.
I'll do anything, and then I bring up one. No.
Well, I want to be able to live and spend the $100 million. If I would have taken that spinning back kick to the face, I'd be dead. I'd still be laying in the mat wherever he took that kick. I'd still be laying there right now.
You'd just be paralyzed from the neck down. So I mean. Hopefully you like candy and beer.
Oh, great!
That's not all you're getting at. I mean, maybe John Bones can help you out with some lines because that's all you're going to be good for.
Oh, you're going to need that.
Oh my God!
You should fight Tyson.
Ooh, I'd take a punch from Tyson for $100 million. Because Tyson's like 70 now, so right now I'd take a fight from Tyson.
No.
He would still fuck you up. He's like 50 and he'd still fuck you
up. Oh, I know he'd still fuck me up. I there's no doubt about it. Any one of these guys that we're talking about is gonna mess me up. But
if you went a whole round with Tyson though, like that'd be crazy.
Dude, I could. You know why I could go a whole round with Tyson? Is because he'd have to catch me. He'd have to corner me somehow.
I don't think you've been using that gym membership, so he'd catch you real quick.
No, he wouldn't. Yeah. Because you know why? If he got me cornered, I'd do one of those WWE moves. I'd drop to the ground and go under the ropes and get out of the ring, and then I'd get back in the ring and run around.
He'd bite you by the ear, freaking tear a limb off.
Hey, I could go without an ear for $100 million. I just have to survive.
I don't think your lady would be too thrilled if you were walking around with cauliflower ear or if you were missing.
Dude, if she had $100 million, she wouldn't care if I had cauliflower penis.
She would she might care about that.
That's obvious because she has a kid that you got none to begin with. So I mean,
that's what you call herpes, my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I don't know. Cauliflower is worse than herpes, isn't it? I think that's more like gonorrhea or something.
That's what you call the herpes.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, why don't you just look down?
Because your screen cuts off at the chest. No, I wouldn't be able to know what it looks like, Hoffy.
No, you look at yourself.
Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, well, this went left quick.
Let's go right.
Real quick.
All right, guys.
You're talking about people wrestling and all this shit, and then you're talking.
So
about
tomorrow we got the Giants and Tampa Bay Bucks. Anybody picking the Giants, Jay?
Hell no.
I thought you loved Danny Dimes.
I'm going with New England South.
Oh God, New England South. Here we go. All right. New England South. Yep. Jeez, I'm crow.
I got Danny Dimes breaking out of this one and breaking out of that Jamarcus Russell curse.
You're lying your ass off.
You want to do that, bro. You know you don't.
You're lying your ass off.
I'm just pissed my Tom Brady jersey hasn't showed up yet. That's why I'm going with the
Giants. You're picking the Giants because your Tom Brady Bucks jersey hasn't come in the mail yet.
Goddamn Asians.
That's classic.
Taking fucking 25 years to send a jersey.
Well, the boat's probably still docked because of COVID.
True.
That said it was shipping from Michigan. I didn't know there was a Michigan in China.
And then you got it for $27.99. What are you complaining about?
No, it was $19.99 plus the shipping and handling was like $2.99. It said something about like Nikon branded was Nikon.
Oh, Nikon.
Oh my God. You might want to call him and see if you can get your $20 back. That thing's gonna come in. And it's gonna say Brandy instead of Brady.
It'll be like a belly shirt.
There's gonna be a 1 up here and a 2 down here.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, you wanted Tom Brady? This is a Patrick Brady jersey."
12 and a half.
All right, guys. That is all the time we got for now. Until next time, boys. What do you guys got to say?
We out.
Let's go Giants.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today.
This game is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here. That's what you've earned here tonight. Their time is done.